Hi YouTube. As you can probably tell by my hair, I am not able to keep up with these videos. It's been a little over a month since I posted my last video, but I'm going to try to be better at it. I'm much better in written word than I am spoken word. I think. I don't know. Maybe I just can't keep up with it. I'm not sure. But I post on my written blog a couple times a week, almost daily. It used to be daily, but almost daily now. And I'll post annotation in this video if you want to read it, because I don't remember the URL off by heart and I probably will get it wrong. But just a little update, I suppose. Just going through the usual mundane details of my own life, same as everyone else. School and trying to figure out where the hell I'm coming up with the rent for this month. The usual things. I'm going through a roommate transition currently, which is pretty tedious in itself, but I think I got it solved, hopefully. I have 2 weeks, really, to solve it. I'm hoping that it'll be okay by that time, otherwise I'm not paying rent, but that's a whole other issue that we'll get into later. As I had previously stated in my last video, I think, I've been going through a transition in my life. I left my ex of 4 years, it's been about a little over 4 months now. And really quickly after that, I started dating somebody, which I knew was not a great idea, but I knew what it was. A rebound or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But I had started seeing somebody, and I actually liked them, to be honest with you. I really liked them. I enjoyed their company. They were he was very charming and he knew what to say to me. You know what I mean? He would read to me, for one thing. No partner I've had has actually taken the energy and the time to do those kinds of things, and it was really nice. I really liked it while it lasted. I did meet him online, like most people meet their prospecting suitors, but I had met somebody too. And about 2 days after I met him in person, he had left. There was an emergency. Apparently in the UK, his cousin was in a coma. So he had left, and I said, family comes first. I'll take a back seat. I don't mind. I'll try to make this story as short as I can, because I don't have a whole lot of time with this video, but he ended up gone for about 3 months. And through the course of the 3 months, I'd gone through quite a roller coaster of feeling and emotion, and I was very erratic. I was much more erratic and neurotic than I usually am about any kind of situation, but tenfold, 11fold, I don't know, like, it was bad. It wasn't good. I mean, it was alright for the first few weeks. I would even say the first month was okay, but after that I started questioning, why are you still there? Situations or occurrences and dramas were happening, and I wasn't sure what to make of them. I had gotten to know a couple of his close friends, and I had gotten to know his little sister and all these things. I'm not going to mention any names, because at the end of this story, you'll understand why I can't do that. So about 2 weeks ago, I finally called it off. He had been gone for a really long time. He had made some kind of excuse that he was addicted to drugs and had to go into CAMH, which is like a rehabilitation and mental health facility here in Toronto. Actually, it's very close to me here in Queen West. And that for me was pretty much my, if he was getting help, that was great. But that was it for me. I had to sort of walk away, because I couldn't be with somebody like that. I knew I couldn't. And literally within hours, he had actually gotten together with my best friend's other best friend. I won't mention his name either. I shouldn't mention any names. But they had gotten together. At first, it did upset me. I will admit it did upset me. But I had written him off, so whatever. I know that it's not exactly right that friends should date other friends, exes. But you know what? Some people don't have the same social protocol as me, and I'm not bitter about it. I'm really not. All the power to him, and I respect him and I like him, so it's okay. I don't mind. Well, this weekend has been a weekend like none other. Seriously. I've been dealing with everything you can possibly deal with in life, times 10, and all compounded onto each other. And that seems really dramatic, and I get that. I'll give you a little idea of what I've been dealing with. I talked to this boy who I had been seeing for 2.5 months, 3 months, whatever. I had finally talked to him, and I finally told him straight out, I don't want anything to do with you. You're dating my friend. That's fine. Let's just move on from this. About an hour later, I had gotten a message from my best friend and his best friend, which were suicide notes. Now, knowing who I am, I take this kind of stuff very serious. And the first thing I did, I didn't even contemplate it. I didn't talk to anybody or anything. As soon as I got those messages, I got on my phone and I called 911. I was on the phone with the police for about, I'd say close to 5 hours, a really long time, from like 4 o'clock in the afternoon until like 9 o'clock at night, just dealing with police and dealing with all this stuff and dealing with him in the process, and dealing with his best friend who was trying to protect him, trying to get phone numbers, trying to get addresses. Now, what had sort of started all this was that the police had actually gone to the address that I had given them, the address that I had been at, because I had met him once, and had informed me about that person that I had been dating didn't live there. A couple did, but he did not live there. I've been there. I didn't understand this. This didn't make any sense to me. How could somebody that... I mean, I've been to that house before. Anyways, in revelation of this happening, he had found out this happened. Because again, I'm telling his best friend at the same time that all this stuff has happened, because his best friend was supposed to be on the phone with the police at the same time. My best friend, me, and the other boy got a huge message after that. That basically stated that there was no boy by this name, there was no best friend, there was no sister, there were no other friends. This was all a fabrication of fiction. All of it, everything, by two, dare I say, sick individuals. I'm not a psychologist or a psychologist. I cannot diagnose, so I'm not going to make any diagnoses, but obviously a pretty unstable individuals, actually, I found out. The reason I found out that they were people that they weren't, other than the cops telling me that my ex or whoever didn't live there, was the phone records. The police had informed me of phone records. It informed me that there was no names, that all the names that I had given them, all the names that I had known for the past 3 months didn't exist. They just didn't exist. Maybe they existed in the world elsewhere, but in our small little bubble of life, they did not exist. And then when we got the message, it made sense why it didn't exist. It made sense why all those stories that I had started to question, not only this didn't make sense because they weren't, none of it was very true. Now it's raised a couple questions. Who did I meet? I still haven't gotten to the bottom of that. I really haven't gotten to the bottom of that. Obviously, these people had faked accounts and pictures and everything, but I did meet somebody in the flesh and blood that looked exactly like the person that was portrayed in the pictures, or portrayed in the Facebook account. So I'm not sure on that. An actor, I really don't know. The story is very convoluted. The people involved in this facade are filmmakers. So, I mean, I guess it would make sense maybe that there was an actor involved. Again, I'm not positive on that. But yeah, so that's what I have been dealing with for the past weekend, and or actually the past week, actually, not even just the weekend, past week. It's been interesting. Something I've never dealt with before, obvious. Oh, well, I think it would be obvious anyways. And there are a lot more details that I'm actually leaving out because this does have to be a relatively short video that I'm going to end in a couple of seconds. But if you do want to know the story, I'm open to questions. You can read my blog that sort of goes into more detail. But yes, that is what I've been dealing with right now. I guess the only thing I can get out of this at the end of all this is do your background checks. If you're meeting people online like most of us do these days, look it up. If you see red flags, go with your gut. I'll probably make another post after this, just to sort of like non-relationship related or this story related or whatever. Anyways, until then, live long and prosper. I don't know.